Okay, so we're looking at the equation x plus 2 2/3 is equal to 4 1/6. Our goal is to find the value of our variable x, and one way of doing that is by isolating that variable. Right now I have x and 2 2/3 as an expression on the left-hand side of my equation, and I just want x there, okay? So earlier we talked about how we can think about zero pairs. So if I have 2 2/3 that are positive and I want to zero that out, I can put in a negative 2 2/3. So I would have my positive 2 2/3. I'm going to put a negative 2 2/3 in because my goal is to have that value of 0. In order to maintain our balance, I have to put in a negative 2 2/3 on the right-hand side expression as well. Okay, so here then I go to simplify my expressions on the left-hand side. This has a value of 0, so I've isolated that x. Here I have an expression of 4 1/6 minus 2 2/3. So after we've isolated the variable, we know that x is equal to 4 1/6 minus 2 2/3. And one of the ways that we can simplify this expression is having an understanding of a constant distance or difference. And we can shift that thinking about our number line, okay? If I have 4 1/6 minus 2 2/3, okay, so we have 4 1/6. We know that 2 2/3 is also 4 6. So 2 4/6 has a distance to 4 1/6. But if I want this value to become a whole, I need to shift it to the right to get it to 3. So we are 2/6 away. So I'm going to take this distance and I'm going to shift it a value of 2/6. So what I'm doing is I am adding 2/6 to both of my values. So when I do that, I will have 4 3/6 minus 3 wholes. Okay, so this makes it a lot easier because we can look at that one's place value. 4 3/6 minus 3 is 1 3/6, which we know is 1 1/2. Okay, so we can go back. If this is true, that means that x is equal to my 1 1/2. Okay, so let's look at that with a rational number in decimal form. Same understanding. So I have x plus 3 1500 equals 5 1/10. Again, my goal is to isolate that variable. So thinking about our zero pairs, that means I'm going to be putting in a negative 3 1500 to both sides. Okay, that way we can isolate that variable. When I do that, I simplify my expression here. This becomes my 0. So I have that x is equal to 5 1/10 minus 3 1500. Having that same understanding of that distance or constant distance between, if I have 3 1500 and I'm trying to find out that distance between, it's not very nice yet, but I can shift it, okay? So if I'm thinking about getting this value to a 4, if I have 15 cents, I would need to shift this distance, okay, 85 cents more. So that means I'm going to add 85 cents to both sides, or 85 hundredths to both sides. And that means I'm going to be at 4. And how far away 4 is from 5 95 hundredths, or 95 cents. So I can think about my expression. X is going to also be equal to 5 95 hundredths minus 4. And then again, we use our place value understanding, and all we're thinking about is the ones. So we know that x is equal to 1 95 hundredths.